Hi everyone, let's go over my low time frame and micro bullish and bearish Elliott Wave scenarios on Bitcoin, starting with the low time frame bullish scenario where we're looking for a three-wave structure to the upside in a WXY, with the targets for wave Y being the 0.618 sitting at 26.6k, and also the area between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236 is common between 27.4k and 28k. And what I like about this area over here is that the 1-to-1 has very nice confluence with the double top that we have for maybe a liquidity grab and then a continuation to the downside, and the 1.236 has confluence with the blue target box, which is sitting between 28k and 28.1k. Now, because the low over here on some exchanges has been taken, this cannot be a 5-3-5 wave move zigzag to the upside anymore, which means this move to the upside over here has to be a three-wave structure, which therefore means I labeled it as a W, followed then by a three-wave structure in a wave X in a zigzag, which then is an A, B, C structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside, where the most common target area for wave C is between the 1 and the 1.236, taken from the high to the low of A to the high of wave B. And as you can see, this has been very, very nicely respected for then continuation in a wave Y. Now, a wave Y doesn't have to go to the upside immediately. It doesn't necessarily has to be a wave structure like this, because a wave Y most commonly is either a zigzag, which is a 5-3-5, a triangle, or a flat. And the flat scenario, I think, is very interesting because we're going to take the double bottom, because a flat is then a three-wave structure followed by a three-wave structure, taking the lows, maybe hitting the yellow target area, and then a wave C to the upside, and then a wave A, B, C. So the blue target box, just above price at the moment, is at 26.4k, and the yellow target box, below price at the moment, is between 24,850 and 24.3k for support. So I think this is very, very interesting. And then wave C is an impulsive structure. So it's a 3, 3, and then a 5-wave move to the upside, where eventually wave C is then going to finish this wave Y. If we go to a little bit of a different scenario, it has somewhat the same outcome. It's just a different count. Then we're not counting this as a WX and then a three-wave in wave Y. This is an expanding flat and then a wave A, followed by a three-wave in B and then a wave C. So an expanding flat is labeled an ABC. So wave B, most common target between the 1.236 and the 1.38, which is sitting between 25k and 24.6k, pulled from the low of wave A to the high of wave A. And then the zigzag over here is only a W, followed then by a corrective sideways ranging structure in then a wave X. And then eventually you expect another three-wave move to the downside in a wave Y, which is then finishing wave B before you then get an impulsive structure again to the upside in a wave C, where you want to see these highs over here being taken as a bare minimum. Now in this scenario, you also see FIB times, the vertical lines on the chart, comparing the time it took to develop wave W with wave X. And you take the FIB time from the high of A and then you double click on wave W over here at the lows, and then you compare these waves with one another in time. And currently X is just a little bit longer than the 0.618 FIB time, which is nice, something I like to see, because this high over here was for me very, very short for the high of a potential wave X in this scenario, because it's even shorter than the 0.382. And I usually prefer waves to be longer than the 382 in time relationship. So that is nice. Now we're ranging between the 0.618 and the 1-to-1, which is fine. Also the 1-to-1 to the 1.618 is still fine. But for now, let's first see what price is going to do in this time area, with the 1-to-1 being at the 14th of June, 2 p.m. Also, because of the news today, we might see some volatility in between these FIB times, so that could be interesting for this wave X as well, to maybe finish wave X and then move down for wave Y. If we then go to the micro and we move to the 15-minute over here, then what we've been talking about has been playing out very nicely, right? So we had the ABC over here hitting the 1-to-1. That was nice. Most common target area for wave C, pulled from the low to the high of A to the low of wave B, then wave C. And then over here we were looking for a three-wave structure in, again, a zigzag AB, expanding flat in wave B, and then a C to the downside, where we were looking for the 1-to-1 to the 1.236 area. 1-to-1 has been hit. Price is moving towards the upside very nicely indeed. Now if we then look at the target area for wave Y, we take these from the low to the high of W to the low of wave X. And you can see that the 0.618 has not yet been hit. It's currently sitting at 26.166 or 2K basically. And as you can see, price has not yet hit the 0.618, which usually is a minimum target for a wave Y, also a common target. But another common target area for wave Y is the 1-to-1 to the 1.236, which is just above the blue target box that we have at 26.4K, with the 1-to-1 sitting at 26.5K. So this is a very, very interesting, important area. And this blue target box is so interesting because we have a weekly naked point of control and a 4-hour order block. And the naked point of control is basically the volume profile point of control of this range over here. So this is an important resistance level for price, for maybe then ending a wave Y and then continuing to the downside again, and then eventually expecting something like a three-wave structure, of course, as mentioned on the low time frame scenarios, the scenarios I've just spoken about. Now you also see FIB times over here, and the FIB times are comparing wave W with wave Y. So you take the FIB time from the low of W to the high of W, and then you put it on the low of wave X, and that is how you compare wave Y with wave W. And you can see that now wave Y has passed the 0.382 FIB time, which is what I like to see, right? But usually wave Y in relation to a wave W has a relationship between at least the 0.618 and the 1-to-1, or even the 1.618. So it has a little bit of like time to go, but also you want to see again a clear three-wave structure. Over here in W, 3 clear waves. In X, a clear 3 waves, but over here so far we don't see a 3-wave structure yet. So I would prefer to see somewhat of a 3-wave structure in wave W, not to forget that we actually did make a double bottom over here, 1, 2. So a zigzag in wave W, a zigzag over here in X, but we could have a flat in a Y, because we do know a Y can be a zigzag, triangle, or a flat. So it is possible that this is then somewhat of a 3-wave, expecting another 3-wave to the downside to then grab the liquidity below here and then move to the upside. That is also possible. That is why corrections are usually also very difficult to trade, right? From an Elliott Wave perspective, because there's so many different possibilities. Now the wave Y, the 0.618 FIB time is at basically 11 a.m. this morning, and the 1-to-1 is at 9 p.m. today. And inside this time period, we also have some news. So if we go to the news, we have a crazy week coming up, right? Actually starting today. You see all the red flags. Red flags for me means volatility, because I have no idea what those red flags mean other than this can create a volatility. So on Tuesday, which is today, 2:30 p.m., that is Central East European time. You might want to check your own time zone. We have some red flags over here, so make sure you trade safe around those hours, around 2:30 p.m., which is, if we look at the FIB times, is about here. So it's going to be very, very interesting what price is going to do today. And then, of course, following today on Wednesday, tomorrow, look at this, crazy day tomorrow. High impact news all around. So tomorrow is going to be even crazier. So we have to wait and see what price is going to do. Just make sure that be safe trading during volatile times. Make sure you have a plan, a strategy, your entry requirements, and your stop loss is managed very, very well. I hope this video was helpful or valuable to you. Please check out the most recent educational video I've made about the best trading indicator you can use, which is the CVD in my opinion. And for now, thanks for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.